What do you think when you hear the word zombies? COD, Left 4 Dead, Resident Evil? Stop punching the frickin' rock! For me, being a retro game enjoyer, I think of the greats. Some I've already stated already, but more specific. Call of Duty World War Zombies Experience, Left 4 Dead 2, and of course the ever-popular Resident Evil series. Oh god, stop having sex with the rock! For me, there's a more lesser-known zombies game. One of dosh, gore, and an absolute killer soundtrack to earn some sweet, sweet dosh too. That game is one I've wanted to talk about for a while now. And that game is... Even with such a short time playing, that being 166 hours and counting as of writing this, I've grown to respect and adore this game with all my heart. Killing Floor is a game made by Tripwire Interactive in 2009 from a mod they developed from Unreal Tournament 2005. A passion project that was a dream come true, thank goodness. The game oozes passion and creativity, and the team really outdid themselves with this one. Let me tell you. The graphics, though dated, still shine through. The pre-rendered gore is so good. It feels awesome to shoot these Zeds in the head, the arm, the legs. The inner serial killer in me, heck, that's horrifying to say, adores the little blood sputs after killing these unholy abominations. The of an AA-12, the of a time bomb, or the shing of a katana. There's plenty of ways to ditch out your own form of judgment. Dosh, Guns, and Depression, aka the story of Killing Floor. Over the course of the few years I've played Killing Floor, I've watched a lot of videos. This one in particular caught my eye. I sat down with some snacks and gave it a listen. And what I heard interested me greatly, really. If you haven't watched it already, please give Melly's video a look. She does a lot better job at explaining the story of KF1 than I can. But here is my oversimplified synopsis. This company, Horizon, develops military assets for the British government. Weapons, stuff like that. One day the Brits ask, "Oh mate, could you develop this sort of super soldier?" Horizon, being the bros they are, say,
"Sure, mate."
They do so, and this guy, Kevin Clamley, sees the abomination Horizon creates as his own children, and in a way they are, as some of the Zeds you fight and kill in horrendously awesome ways, are made from Kevin's children and other family members' DNA, such as the Stalker being Kevin's daughter, the Clot being Kevin's son, so on and so forth. Kevin keeps the projects going without the Brits knowing. Then one day, he unleashes his army on the unsuspecting populace of London and the country of Britain as a whole. And a lot of people start... Why are you cheering? Anyway, as I was saying, Britain is taking hits left and right. Down the line, Kevin turns himself into the patriarch.
What have you done to my children?
The final boss of every game you play. The entire continent of Europe is falling to this new nemesis, enemy. This is where you are dropped in. My arch nemesis. Not zombies, aka the Zeds of Killing Floor. The enemies of Killing Floor you fight are genuinely unsettling, even all these years later. The Clot, that little ankle biter, the slow, lumbering, trivial creature. While alone, these things are pushovers. See? Watch! Oh, that clip gets me every time. Anyway, don't be fooled by their easily destroyed forms. In numbers, these things are a real pain to deal with, given that if they get close enough, they'll grab you and keep you there.
Keys.
How much is that?
like
Like over $2,000, dude.
Okay, so what you gotta do is you gotta go to all your neighbors' houses, you take their house key, and just order them until...
They can gang up very quickly and become the end of any game, just like those darn Varuk sprint. The gore fast is nothing but muscle. Literally, because that's all that's left of them. No skin, they're just muscle. You get the picture. His distinct characteristics are the fact that he only has one arm. Sorta. His only functioning arm, if you will, is a giant, sharp, and painful knife. These guys are the Clot's bigger, angrier, and more hurtful cousin, who just had 2 packs of steroids and is now out of Newports, and he's coming for you. A single one is a more valuable target than a single Clot, because at least Clots have the common decency to walk and not run in the street, Jeremy! While one isn't a terrible threat, if you see a pack of these things, they take priority pronto. The scientific term of a pack of Gorefests is called a problem. Usually 4 or 5 are enough to go through your armor and you in about 1 to 2 seconds. On suicidal at least. I'm speaking from experience. Don't let them bunch up, because they'll carve you up like a Thanksgiving turkey. While the gore fast is a problem, there is one worse.
Bubble!
This little batch of nightmares is called a crawler. Isn't he adorable?
I'll damn you good, you filthy bug! Why won't you love me, Dad?
Crawlers are a highly annoying dried piece of molded cheese that gnaw at your feet because they're little perverted freaks that get down like that. Every time I see one, I kill it immediately. Every dead crawler deserves another good dead crawler.
I want you to be dead!
They're quick, they're annoying, and they hurt. They are never alone. They're usually in packs of 3 or 4 or 5, really. And they're usually protected by all their bigger cousins, like the Gorefast and the Clots and all those. Crawlers are much like Clots in they're easy to kill, but they move around so much it's a chore to try and kill them. Once they attack you once, you better get them out of the way quick or they'll just keep on you. And up next is a Stalker. And this lovely lass is an annoyance, much like the Crawler, but less so, as they are more easy to kill. They're just like spies in TF2. You kill them when they're cloaked and you don't even mean to hit them. They show up when you least expect it and try and suck. Well, they try and get into your... They touch you inappropriately.
That's no good.
They're quick, you can't see them very well, and they talk. Shut them up quickly, preferably with a shotgun or a missile or 2. And, let's see. Oh, yeah. Next after the Stalker is the Bloat. He is fat.
Yeah.
He vomits on you.
Yeah.
He whittles your health down like he's eating a hamburger.
Yeah.
Watch out after these guys die, though, as they'll fling vomit in an AoE for a second or 2. And they can still hit you, even after you've killed them. They also speak, too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
In all seriousness, the Bloat is an easy target if you shoot their heads off. No head means no vomit. You'll slowly lumber around a couple seconds then fall dead. He's the biggest, easy Zed to deal with. And after the Bloat, we have the Husk.
There you are.
This annoying pest is a pain in my side. So many games ended because of this freaking fireball! He is a ranged attacker that is deadly if you're not quick on your feet. He hits and he hits hard. In a horde of all these Zeds, it's best you try and target him the most. If you don't, that horde may just be the end of your game. Then we get to the 2 problematic Zeds. The Scrake. He likes trousers, thinks we're all flawed, and plays pranks. Those pranks include the following. Not so much a prank as he is a chainsaw-wielding maniac. Wait a minute. That's my job. He's trying to take my job! The Scrake is slow at first, but keep damaging them, and they'll go on a rampage. They're quick, they're brutal, and they hurt big time. Make sure you take these guys out quick. Well, let's see. Who's next on the... the next enemy on the list is he's... The Fleshpound. These guys take center stage when you see them. Newbies beware. When these weapons of mass destruction spawn in, you'll hear a very mechanical growl and see him make a beeline toward you. If you see him, get some distance before lighting him up with everything you've got. Much like the Scrake, you damage him some and he'll go berserk. Unlike the Scrake, these guys are even faster and they hurt even more. One flesh pound is enough to take down an entire squad if they're not dealt with immediately. They're fast, they're mean, and they will have no qualms turning you into a fleshy hors d'oeuvre. Let's see, the last Zed.
Looking at my script, I failed to realize that I had missed one singular Zed that was more problematic than most Zeds on this list. She's loud, she's a bitch, and she's a Karen. The Siren. Always screaming to see the manager, and always screaming at the worst possible times. The thing about the Siren that I hate the most, that fucking soul-sucking the thing I always hate about the Siren is the fact that she doesn't really worry about your armor. She just goes for your health entirely, much like the soul-sucking bitch that she is. Like your ex-wife that always takes all the money in the alimony. If you see her, make sure you kill her with preferably a shotgun, a melee weapon, an assault rifle, or better yet, just pick a demolitionist and put some pipe bombs on the ground and watch her go sky high. That part's fun. Let's see, who comes after the Siren? Oh yeah, I remember now.
Ah, yes, the patriarch. Don't let him get close. Don't let him get far away. Don't let him do anything, really. He will destroy you and your squad in one fell swoop if you don't take him out quick. Equipped with the same cloaking technology as a stalker and a minigun/rocket launcher for an arm, he is a very formidable opponent. His chain gun will kill you and someone else, and maybe 3 people, in mere seconds. One rocket is enough to almost take out an entire squad, and when he hits like a truck. He's never alone, as he will spawn back up to go and heal if he takes enough damage. Use this interval of him dropping his offense to run away like a little bitch, and take your own offense. You can block him from running away, barely, and keep up the damage. Or just use a certain perk that's useful at putting pipe bombs down.
Oh, this tactic. I'm gonna leave. He's not here. Oh, he walked past me. Got him.
Guns? Skills? You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. AKA, the weapons and perks of Killing Floor. What's a good zombie game without guns? This one's got it all, sister. Shotguns, assault rifles, automatic shotguns, semi-auto rifles, a claymore sword, a chainsaw, a crossbow that shoots spinning saw blades. Yes! Saw blades! But all these weapons need to have specialists, right? Well, of course they do. Killing Floor has 7 perks to choose from. Sharpshooter with all your dual wielding and long range options. Commando for all your assault rifle needs. Sports Specialist for your welding and shotguns. Berserk for your...
It's party.
up close and slice and dice. Demolitions. Need I say more?
Yes, we go. Kaboom.
And Firebug. For fire and fire-related activities and more fire. and Field Medic to keep all these guys alive, or leave them to die because you love being on your own team. Anyway, Medic uses pretty much all SMGs. He isn't meant to combat anything up close, just keep his team going, but if they do need him to fight, he's got something to use at least. You can mix and match any weapon from any class. Want to be a medic with a rocket launcher? Go for it! Want to be an explosive expert using a sniper? That's all you, I guess. Perks take a bit of progress, believe me. All 7 perks have benefits for their specific weapons, so it's better to stick with what your class specializes in. A berserker can't have the ultimate power of a fully maxed sharpshooter and vice versa. Stick in your lane, basically, but it's fine if you want to try out new combos. Personally, I love the AA-12 shotgun and the hunting shotgun on support specialist. Something about the two just go hand in hand. Another favorite of mine is the sharpshooter's crossbow and dual hand cannons. Hard to go wrong with that. An experiment. Get crazy with your ideas. The game lets you do it. And I love it for it doing so. Know your role, aka what each perk is good at in Killing Floor. Each class has its own part to play. Let's get the obvious one out of the way first. Field Medic is there to A, keep his teammates alive as long as possible, B, make sure the team is in good health, and C, doing their job. No one likes a medic that doesn't do his job. Sharpshooter is a little more difficult. Sharpshooter, at least to me, is this. A, target the big Zeds with superior headshot damage. B, cover your team from medium to far range. C, make sure you're in a good spot. And how to play sharpshooter is easy pickings for any small horde of flesh eaters. Demolition is simple. A, get the pipe bombs. B, place the pipe bombs. C, laugh maniacally as your enemies turn to fluid and chum because they couldn't see the bombs. In all seriousness, keep your distance. You may have explosives, but they hurt if you're close enough. One little stick of a pipe bomb is enough to blow you to kingdom come. You're the artillery. Try not to kill yourself with your own ordnance. Commando. I don't really play him much, but what I can gather from him is this. A, pepper clumps of Zeds with automatic fire. B, reveal stalkers to your team. And C, try not to rage with the larger Zeds. You just don't have the damage output that any other class would have. Firebug is similar as a commando in a way. A, fire. B, fire more. And C, don't fire the Fleshpound or Scrake without your team around. You don't have the damage output fast enough to kill these guys. So you'll just end up dying 9 times out of 10. This is talking on a higher difficulty than beginner. If you're on beginner, I don't think you'll die, but it's been a while since I played on beginner. Berserker is tricky as he can do quite a bit. I love playing the class. Your job is simple. Whittle down the large Zeds with the stun effect you can cause. B, try not to charge headfirst at a large group. You'll just be a little snack. And C, Support Specialist is my other go-to, because I love playing this class too. Your job is simple. Weld the doors for your team, wherever you choose to hold up, that is. Take out a lot of Zeds with your shotguns, and C, target the larger Zeds. You do a lot of damage up close and personal, but you're also in the firing line of the Fleshpounds, Scrakes, and all of that. But I think if you and your team are good at doing what you do, and you have good team balance, I think you'll be just fine. These are just a few of the roles that all these classes can fill. Try to stick to what your class is good at, and you should be golden. Dude, this song is banging, bro. AKA the music of Killing Floor. A big part of Killing Floor is the gore and gunplay. But the music, now that's a whole other story. The music of Killing Floor is something else. It can go from fast-paced, heart-pumping action, guitar riffs, and then it could just mellow out to a somber and quiet tone of pianos or guitar strings, or then it could just go to terrifying noises that kind of sound like something out of Silent Hill. During the interwave periods, you can get some somewhat calming tones, kind of quiet and easy on the ears. Somewhat. Because it's kind of signifying that, hey, you got through this, but there's still more to come. Keep that in the back of your mind. Then we move on to the actual waves, where you're killing and doing your job. The creator of most of this soundtrack for the game is a guy called Synthetic. He made something oh so extra special when he created most of the soundtrack for this game. One of my favorite tracks is called Containment Breach. While killing Zeds, you're treated with fast-paced guitar riffs, chords, or other sounds on instruments that create a symphony of chaos and death for you to kill to. It's something that hooks you and you can't help but play right along and try not to headbang to. Synthetic really outdid himself with a lot of the tracks that he made. And my goodness, this game wouldn't be the same if Synthetic was not the real deal at making music. In conclusion, Killing Floor 1 is one of the best zombie shooters in the recent decades. I'd say it's up there with some of the greats. COD Zombies, the old COD Zombies, 7 Days to Die, some of the old Resident Evils like 4 and maybe even 5, of course, both Left 4 Deads. With its killer soundtrack and the guttural gun sounds and the Zed sounds that are still horrifying to this day, I'm sure someone who has a love for wave-based shooters can pick this right up and get to killing on the killing floor. While the game is dated in its graphics and mechanics, it more than holds up and makes up for it in its core gameplay and its wicked soundtrack. Tripwire was cooking back then, and I hope they've got something good with the new Killing Floor coming out, when it does. The music in this game is something else, and Synthetic really outdid himself with most of the things that he made here. I don't think Killing Floor 1 would be the same game without him and his amazing soundtrack. Till Tripwire makes their new game, I'm headed back to West London. Tally-ho, lads!